Today we are going to talk about Test 11 of Life in the UK test, which is required for ILR and British citizenship applications. Um, and let us see what is in the test. Okay, as usual, the most important things first of all. First things first. It is a computer-based test, and there are 24 questions in the test. And to pass the test, you must answer 18 of them correct. Okay, and the total time for the test is 45 minutes, which is quite a lot of time to read everything properly and understand and then answer the questions. Some people rush through the questions, and then in this way they make mistakes. So there's no point or reason to rush, because you have enough time, because there will be some question that will only take 5 seconds, or sometimes 3 seconds, or sometimes 6 or 7 seconds, but there are questions which need a bit more of reading, trying and understanding. So this way you will have quite a lot of time to understand questions and read them again and again. Do that, because reading something once, answering the question wrong is useless. So why not spend some time, answer something 10 or 30 seconds late, but answer correctly. Okay, so that's the philosophy behind that, reading the questions again and again. And sometimes you read the question first time, you don't understand, but when you read it twice or the third time, then your mind is already in the process of sorting that out, so you start seeing things. Okay, right, so let us start the question. Question number 1: which of the following territories does not belong to Great Britain? Extremely important question, I say. Question number 1 is from the second chapter of the book, and I would like to explain a bit here, because this is a very, very important question. There are a couple of questions hidden inside this question, and you will see how much you can learn here. Okay, let me so this is how you write with mouse. It's very, very difficult. I don't know how to get better at these things. Anyhow, okay, so UK is 4 countries and Great Britain is 3 countries. Now look at the question: which of the following territories does not belong to Great Britain? Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, England. All of them seem very juicy options, but remember one thing, that UK is a 2-piece country. Let me design the map of the UK. It's a very rough and raw form of, okay, something like that. And there's one here as well. Okay, look at this. When I say 2-piece, I mean this one. So one piece of land is here, then there's the sea, and then the second piece of land is here. Okay, I mean, obviously it is a big piece of land, but we are only concerned with Northern Ireland. Okay, so let us divide that into 3 pieces. Scotland, this is England, and this is Wales, and this is Northern Ireland. Okay, now altogether these are 4 countries. Now you could see things, yeah. So UK is 4 countries: Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland. So that is 1 country, but that 1 country has 4 divisions. Okay, so this one piece of land has 3 countries: Scotland, England, and Wales, and that is called Great Britain, or sometimes known as Britain. Okay, so which country is not in Great Britain? Obviously Northern Ireland, so that is the correct option. Okay, but still the story does not finish here. Sometimes you will have a question: how many countries are in the UK? So 4. How many countries are in Great Britain? 3. Okay, or sometimes you can have a true false thing. Okay, Great Britain has 4 countries, true or false? So that is false, because Great Britain has 3 countries. Okay, so sometimes you will have Scotland is not in Great Britain, which is again false. So if you remember that, which countries are in Great Britain and which countries are in United Kingdom, then it's easy for you. Next question. Who was the first Briton to win Tour de France? I don't know whether it is Tour de France or de France or whatever it is. It's a cycle race, French word. So in France, it's one of the biggest events in cycle racing. So Sir Chris Roy or Bradley Wiggins or Andy Murray or Steve Redgrave. So the correct answer is Bradley Wiggins. Is the person who was the first Briton to win Tour de France. Next, which of the following statements is true? The English language has no dialects. The English language has many accents and dialects. Gaelic is spoken in North Wales. In Northern Ireland, people speak French. Okay, so that is absolutely nonsense option. So the correct option is the English language has many accents and dialects. Now, accent is saying a word in a different way with the same meaning, with the same spellings. And dialects is a bit different. Dialects is a difference of vocabulary. So, for example, if somebody says, I use one word for one thing here, they might not mean the same thing in probably Northern Ireland or Scotland. So they might have a different vocabulary for that thing. Okay, so that is called dialects. Next, how old do you need to be to go into betting shops and gambling clubs? So that is an example of the question that I was discussing earlier on in one of my earlier videos, where I told you that most of the things are done at the age of 16 for young people in the UK, but there are certain things which are done or which are allowed at the age of 18. So going to betting shops and gambling clubs is one of them. So that is 18 years old. Now, for example, if you have a question, remember betting and gambling, that's probably the only thing. So if you are not sure about anything, then go for 16. Okay, because most things are 16, so the chances that your answer would be correct, but it's better to always learn, not to guess. Guessing is not a good idea. Next thing is, what do Ian McKellen, Hilary Mantel, and Julian Barnes have in common? So these are the three people. So what did they do? They were British sports players. They were awarded with the Man Booker Prize for fiction, or they won the Nobel Prize in Literature, or they were awarded with the Mercury Music Prize. So the correct option is they were awarded with the Man Booker Prize for fiction. All of them are writers. Okay. Next, in Northern Ireland, members of the Legislative Assembly are elected on the basis of, so this is the same as we had about Welsh Assembly in one of the tests before. So that is proportional representation. That is the correct answer. And first past the post system is for the British Parliament for the general election in which the Prime Minister is elected. How can MPs be contacted? Choose two options. Okay, by letter, by going to your local council. No, that's not right. By phoning their constituency office, or through Facebook. Facebook if is not the right option. You can either write a letter to your MP, or you can ring their local office, which is constituency office. Okay. Next question. What did the Bill of Rights confirm in 1689? Extremely important question. Bill of Rights is an extremely important landmark in the history of the UK, and this is one of those most important moments which gave more power to Parliament. Okay, women rights to vote? No. The rights of the Parliament and the limits of the King power? That is the correct option. The supreme power of the King? No. The freedom of speech? So this is the right option. This was the time when more powers were given to the Parliament and less powers to the King or the monarch. Next, Who designed the Clifton Suspension Bridge located over the Avon George? This is in Bristol. It's a very, very phenomenal structure. So the answer to this question, let us see. Sir Norman Foster, Isambard Kingdom, Brunel, Richard Arkwright, or Robert Adams. So the correct answer is Isambard Kingdom, Brunel. Look at that. Clifton, one word, suspension, second, bridge, third. So who is the architect? That guy has also three names. Okay, now the word sir is not the name, it's just the title. So we are looking at the names of the people. So you will have, I'm sure that when you have a question like that, you will have four options, and none of them except this person's name would be three letters, three words long. So three words, that's how you remember things. Does Britain have a written constitution? Very simple question, but very important question. No, Britain does not have any written constitution. Constitution is basically the book of law by which a country is governed or ruled or run. So the British Constitution is not written. Some countries, most countries in the world have written constitutions. Next, what does the estimated population of British Empire during, what was the estimated population of the British Empire during the Victorian period? Over 300, so more than 300 million people, or more than 400 million people, 450 million, or 500. So the correct answer is it's more than 400 million people in during the times of Queen Victoria. Next question. You see sometimes the questions are repeated. We had this question in a previous test as well. Which of the following countries was not part of the Allied powers during the First World War? So there were two groups. One was Allied, headed by the UK, and the other was the German group. So the country that was not part of the Allied group was Bulgaria. How many times have Olympic Games been hosted in the UK? 2, 3, 4, 6. So the correct answer is 3 times. Okay. Next question. When were films first shown publicly in the UK? The films were first shown publicly in the UK in 1896. That's an important date. And I mean, there are sometimes no ways to can make a connection, or if you could do it, I mean, that would be great, but sometimes you have to remember things. What is the name of the building where the Welsh government members meet? Okay, this is very important questions because all of these places represent their respected governments or buildings, or the center of the government. So Westminster is the UK British Parliament, Stormont is Northern Ireland's Assembly, Holyrood is Scottish Assembly, and Senate is Welsh Assembly. So that is the correct answer. So this is England, or simply British Parliament. Stormont is Northern Ireland, Holyrood is Scotland. Okay, so you remember that. This is a very important question in which you can learn about 3-4 more questions. So these are the places where these government buildings are, okay, or the assembly buildings are. Where is the city of Southampton located? Very simple question, and the answer is also very simple: England. When did the First World War finish? So you have to remember the number 11. Okay, so 11 a.m. 11th of November 1918. Okay, that is the time when the First World War finished. The next question is, Florence Nightingale was known for her work: human rights, the development of nursing in the UK, the development of computer science, the development and manufacture of motor sport technology. The correct answer is the development of nursing in the UK. Florence Nightingale was a nurse, or she's also known as the lady with the lamp. Okay, and she came to fame during Crimean War. So she is supposed to be the inventor of nursing in our modern times. So the second option is correct option. Next question, which act abolished slavery throughout the British Empire in 1833? It's a very, very important question, I tell you. The Freedom Act, the Habeas Corpus Act, the Emancipation Act, the Slavery Act. You could see that you have the word slavery here, okay, you have abolished here as well. So I mean, the first idea comes to the mind that it has something to do with freedom. So this is just to trap you. This is not the right option. Habeas corpus, different thing. The Emancipation Act, emancipation means freedom, and Slavery Act, so very juicy options, but this is the right one. Okay, how do you remember that? British Empire, empire begins with E, emancipation begins with E, so slavery was abolished in the British Empire through Emancipation Act. So you remember that connection. Next, how long does Diwali last for? Diwali is a festival celebrated by Hindus and Sikh communities in this country and around the world. Weekends, I mean, that does not seem to be a very sensible option. 40 days, absolutely not. There is no event which is celebrated for 40 days consecutive. 5 days and a week. 5 days is the right option. Who became King of Britain when Queen Anne died in 1714? Okay, the correct option is James II, George II, George I, and Charles I. So the correct option is George I. Okay, after that, after Queen Anne's death, George I died, and that was the person who could not speak English. He was German, so he could only speak German. Okay, so that's why he needed somebody to translate things for him, and that's why he made somebody as the prime minister. What was the population of the UK in 2005? Just over 50 million, just over 60 under sorry just under 50 million, just under 60 million, just over 50 million, or just over 62 million. So the correct option is just under 62 million. I mean, there's no other way to find the correct answer except for remembering that. Question number 23. When did the Habeas Corpus Act become law? The Habeas Corpus Act is extremely important phenomena in the history of the UK, and the answer is 1679. Let me explain it a bit, because sometimes understanding things could be very, very important. Habeas corpus is one of those laws which is a landmark achievement in British history. In 1679, before that time, anybody could be accused of anything, and without any trial, without listening to that person. For example, if I could put a blame on you that you stole my money, let's say 500 pounds, and I'm an influential person, I go to the court or the government and say that this is what happens, and they will issue a sentence without speaking to you. So in that there were many people who targeted their enemies under that pretext, but then Habeas Corpus Act came into force in 1679, which means bring the person into the court. Okay, so for example, now if I blame on you that you stole my money, so the court will say, okay, this is your story, let us speak to the person, and then you will be asked to come to the court and you will be asked to explain your position. So the court will listen to, or the judge would listen to both of the parties before he or she decides anything. So that is extremely important, and that was one of the laws which set foundations for individual liberty and human rights in this country. Okay, Next question is the last one, and very important question. Who discovered the penicillin in 1928? Is that Sir Robert Watson, or Alexander Fleming, or John Macleod, or Howard Florey? So the correct answer is Alexander Fleming. So this is the right option, and this is a very important question because penicillin is known as wonder drug and still is used to cure bacterial infections and bacteria. So this is the end of the test. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment box and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and bye.